Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Aquarius. First and foremost, I have to tell you happy birthday because it is Aquarius season. And every so often, someone will come to me in the comment section and ask me, are they an Aquarius? Because if you look at your sun sign, the date changes of when it starts and when it ends. It depends on a number of factors, time zones, things like that. So if you're not certain if you're an Aquarius or not, a person who's born on like January 19th or 20th might be like, well, am I Aquarius or am I a Capricorn? It's very exact. All you have to do is go to astro.com. It's a free service. And you go to astro, astro.com, and you punch in your birthday. And it will tell you based on your exact birthday. And if you have the birthplace and the birth time, it can also tell you your moon sign, your rising sign, where Mercury is, it can do a whole chart. But the point of the matter is that if you're not certain if you're Aquarius or not, or Pisces or not, or Aries or not, or whatever, you can go to astro.com and punch in that information and find out exactly. Okay, I know that's kind of confusing to people because sometimes you see the date, it'll say the 19th or it'll say the 20th, but it's all based on astronomy and how they calculate the orbits of the planets, which is way above my pay scale. But that computer program will do it for you for free in a couple seconds. Okay. So since it's our season, today I'm going to do a segment of what would an Aquarius do. You guys sent me some very interesting questions, as always, and we're going to talk about these, okay? So let me do the introduction. I am Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to everybody and anybody you know who might like it as well. Leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And let me see what else. Oh, if you would like to get a reading done, if you would like to get in contact with me on social media, if you would like to get some Ask an Aquarius merchandise or some ArchAngel Michael merchandise that I had designed, all those links and my Patreon, all of that is underneath this video. Okay? So hit me up. All right, guys, let's take a look and see. Today, what's the first one? What would an Aquarius do? Okay, this is an interesting one. I did see this one. I was looking at this one like, okay. It says, what would an Aquarius do if a 15 plus year friends with benefits with a Virgo wanted an exclusive relationship? Now, if I had been friends with benefits with somebody for 15 years, it's safe to say I must kind of like and know the person. I've been with them for quite some time, at least, casually anyway. So if they asked me, if this Virgo came to me and said, hey, we've been doing this for 15 years, do you want to do something, serious? Do you have a real relationship? I think that the first thing I would do, because the relationship hasn't gone there, so all this time I've been looking at this person as just a casual relationship, and I may already know if I want it to go somewhere or not. Usually with an Aquarius, especially after 15 years, we would know if we really wanted to go somewhere or not. But if we're not certain and there's a little bit of a possibility, we probably would kind of see, kind of test drive, kind of see like, all right, well, what would happen if I was with this person? And we might start to do things like, be a little bit more open, or might do things with you we've never done before, or meet your friends or your family, or let you meet ours. We might do a little something just to see, okay, will this work? And then we might move forward. But if the Aquarius does not do anything, if they ignore what you said, or if they don't like make any changes or any moves or even try to see, that means the Aquarius already knew 15 years ago this wasn't going anywhere. And for many of us, this will be the case. Because for most Aquarius, if we're really feeling somebody, it's not going to take 15 years. And it wouldn't take for the other person to come to us and ask us for an exclusive relationship. We would already be thinking about that about 3, maybe, it depends if there was real love there, 2, 3 years in, we would have already been thinking about it. So the fact that this is 15 years later really makes me think that the Aquarius doesn't think there's much here. Maybe there's a friendship here, maybe it's some, some good times. And the Aquarius might, second guess ourselves, because I would ask myself, is there something here? And I would kind of see, I would kind of gauge it. And if it wasn't, then I will be honest with the person, but not everybody will. Some people will just keep on keeping on the way that things are and not tell you how they really feel. A lot of Aquarius have a hard time expressing their feelings. So just play it by the Aquarius's behavior. If they try to do a little something, then they're trying to see. And based on that, they will make a determination. And the answer could be yes or no. It just depends on what they feel. Aquarius is looking for a connection. So they're looking to see if that connection is there. They're looking to see if your life will work. Like, will your life work with mine? Will your family be okay? We're looking to see if it's okay. You know how the 3 bears were Goldilocks? We're looking to see which one is just right. So I expect that the Aquarius either already knows that or is going to figure it out now that you've asked the question. What would an Aquarius do if someone what would an Aquarius do if someone was trying to put their problems on them? Now, most of the time, my earring came off. Most of the time, an Aquarius will be very happy to give advice. A lot of us do that. You're looking at Ask an Aquarius, A lot of us are happy to give advice if we can, if we know anything about the subject. A lot of us are happy to help people too, especially when it's a person that we actually like. But you're not going to take that but so far with Aquarius. Once it becomes draining, and it does become draining. If I keep coming to you with my problems day after day after day, and I'm not trying to work through them, I'm not coming up with any solutions, I'm just coming to you and dumping all my problems on you, after a while, it does get draining. And some people, Aquarius, are not going to like that vibration. Some people will just let you keep coming to them day after day and in their mind thinking, oh my God. Aquarius eventually is going to start ducking you. We will ghost you in the same office building, in the same house. We don't care. And Aquarius will start ducking you because this becomes draining for the Aquarius, especially if we've already given you the information that we had to share. If I've already told you, homegirl not too cool, leave her alone, and you keep messing with her, I'm not going to keep listening to you every time she dog you. I'm not going to do it. Every time she beat you up, every time she take your money, every time she lied to you or mess with one of your friends. If I already told you what it's hitting for, and you keep asking me the same question, you eventually, unless of course it's a client, because with my clients, I just keep talking to them. That's my job, But if it's a person that's not a client, if it's just a friendly person or somebody like that, I'm only going to tell you a couple of times, and then I'm going to be like, look, I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, it sounds like you might need some help from somebody else. Maybe talk to a therapist or a grief counselor. I might make another suggestion of another person that can help them. But I'm not going to keep sitting there trying to help somebody, and I already told you everything that I know, and you keep making the same mistake. I've done that before. I've kept making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. And some of my friends were understanding and they would listen, and some of them will be like, So that's how the Aquarius is going to handle it. They're going to start ducking you. They're going to start, seeing you as little as possible. And at some point in time, some Aquarius might actually tell you, look, it depends on how blunt the Aquarius are. Because some Aquarius are really blunt and they will tell you, look, I'm tired of listening to this. It depends on the person. And some of them will just start ducking you because they don't really want to hurt your feelings, but they don't want to hear it no more. So it depends on, how compassionate the Aquarius is choosing to be that day. All right. What would an Aquarius do? Ooh, if a parent stole their inheritance. Well, I'm gonna tell you something about Aquarius. Aquarius don't care who it is. If you do something to us that hurts us bad enough, we will cut you off. You can be a mother, you can be a father, you can be a lover, you can be anybody. The hardest person to cut off for an Aquarius is our children. Aquarius, especially if we already have a relationship with them. Now, if we have a child that we don't know or for whatever reason don't have a relationship with, that's a different story. But it's really hard for us to deal with cutting off our children. But if it's a parent, parents can get it. Parents can get it. I know a lot of Aquarius who don't even talk to their parents, much less them stealing from them. I know some Aquarius who have cut their parents off for different toxic behaviors. It is what it is. And I know a lot of other signs who will put up with their parents' toxic behaviors just because it's their parents. Aquarius not going to do that. So if you steal an Aquarius's inheritance, 9 times out of 10, the Aquarius will probably try legal methods because it's going to be the most logical, and maybe they can recover the money. And if they can't recover the money or they don't have the means to fight, they're just going to cut. 9 times, most of us are just going to cut that situation off and we're going to move on. Because Aquarius is not afraid to be the lone wolf. And this is one thing that people mess up on. Aquarius, we might be clingy because if we really, really, really like somebody or we really love somebody, we will cling to them. If we don't, we're more detached. But even if we are in love with somebody, even if we are attached to somebody, a family member, anybody, if they do something awful to us, we will walk. Aquarius has no problem being the lone wolf. We don't need a pack. We just don't. It's not our thing. It's like, it's cool if we have a pack. Usually we're running the pack or at the head of the pack if we do have one. We're cool with that. But Aquarius don't have to have one. So a lot of people are shocked when an Aquarius just disappears. And I'm like, because we're self-sufficient. We'll figure it out. I moved to a whole nother country where I didn't know anybody and figured it out. That's a very Aquarius thing to do. So 9 times out of 10, this Aquarius will cut that parent off and keep it moving. That's an awful thing to happen. Can you imagine? Ugh. What would an Aquarius do if someone tapped their phone and their email? Oh, if I found out somebody tapped my phone and my email, most Aquarius, of course, are going to go to logic. So is it a legal thing? Like, can I sue this person? Because that would be my first thought process. And if I couldn't sue this person, I definitely would be furious. They tapped my phone and my email. I have couples that I have known, that I know to this day, who have done this to their significant other. I know a woman, as a matter of fact, she got some computer software. There's some type of computer software. And this was a long time ago. This was like 15, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago now. But she got this computer software, put it on the computer, and every time her boyfriend went to the computer, he didn't know the software was on the computer. So she was able to go back, pull up the software, and look at everything he did on the computer. So one day he was on a computer. He was a cheater. It was what it was. And I don't know why she was even going through all these shenanigans, because she already knew he was a cheater. But anyway, she went to the computer. He was talking to some girl. They were phoned or cyber sexing or whatever. And she printed out the conversation and, laid it on the bed. And when he came home, it was on the bed. So then they got into this big fight and nothing really happened because of it. But my point of the matter is that this kind of thing happens pretty frequently. Another person told me that they put a nanny cam in their bedroom because they thought that their boyfriend was creeping with the next door neighbor. Found the boyfriend creeping, but not with the neighbor. Found the boyfriend creeping with his ex. So she had put the nanny cam in their bedroom, and homeboy didn't know. She caught everything on camera. So this kind of thing does happen every day. And how would an Aquarius feel about this? Well, if I was being taped, if it was my lover, I probably would think that they didn't trust me, they were insecure, and they were trying to find out what I was doing. That's what I would first think. If it was, in the case of me trying to sue them. But if it was a lover, then I would just automatically assume it was insecurity. And we would talk about it because honestly, they're not going to find nothing. Not with me. Not now. They're not going to find nothing. So if I found out later that they had done this, we would sit and talk about it. Like, what's the deal? Why don't you trust me? That would become a trust conversation for me. But if it was a person like not a love, like a business or somebody like that, that's what I would be looking to sue that person. I would not like it, period, because it's a violation of privacy, and most Aquarius are very private about our business. So whoever this person is, we're not going to like the breach of privacy. Either way, we're going to say something or do something about it. Now, some Aquarius might be slick about it, and figure out how it's taped or tapped or whatever the case is, and, remove it or whatever the case is. A lot of us are kind of savvy, so we might find it and just remove it. But for me, I wouldn't even remove it. I would just take it to the person like, what is the deal? Why this nanny cam in the bathroom? Like, what is the deal, So I think it really depends on the situation, but either way, we're not going to like this. This is definitely not something that I would do to an Aquarius, because I personally, depending upon how angry the Aquarius is, they might never speak to you again, because this is a serious violation. That's a really deep one. All right, so what would an Aquarius do if people make fun of them? Make them the butt of the joke, or try to embarrass them. And she says she's talking about their opinion, their style, their beliefs. Because see, this isn't done in fun. This isn't like jokey jokes trying to be funny. This person is being malicious if they're trying to embarrass you and make fun of your beliefs. And Aquarius would not like this. This would not go well. This would not go well. This would either end in a really bad argument, because Aquarius can get very aggressive, and this would be seen as an act of aggression. So an Aquarius would possibly get aggressive, possibly cuss them out, possibly want to fight, or possibly just, cut them off. It depends on their level of anger. And see, some Aquarius are willing to go places that others are not. I'm not willing to punch anybody in the mouth anymore, but some other Aquarius are. I'm willing to just discontinue the relationship because I'm, at this point in my life where I don't want to go to jail. But other Aquarius might handle that a little bit different. But I'm telling you, aggression, the first thing that I felt in my body was heat. I felt heat, like I wanted to choke the person, And 9 times out of 10, I would just discontinue. I could see me being like in a party or something and somebody trying some crap like this, and me just being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see y'all later, and just dip. Y'all can sit here and talk shit all you want while I'm on my way home. I would just dip, and I wouldn't mess with that person anymore, or I would leave that setting. You could be in one room, go into another one, something like that. It depends on how malicious of an attack it was. Because this person, you said, is trying to embarrass them. See, I don't mind jokes. I've been in relationships. I was telling somebody before, a lot of my lovers were humorous. I had a thing for fun. I have a thing for funny people, And I was saying, I love a humorous person. So I've been around a lot of people who would laugh or joke. We would bust on each other. I've had that. That's hysterical to me until it's malicious. This is definitely malicious. So this would not end well. This would definitely end in some type of aggression or some type of detachment. This would end in some distance 9 times out of 10. And it's like you really got to be careful with them jokes, because a lot of people be saying that they're joking and they're really coming at your neck. So an Aquarius is really good at vibing off of what is and what isn't. And then another one here, she said their individual style or beliefs. See, I don't really I mean, if somebody was joking, about my beliefs, I don't think I would think that's funny. I don't think I would think that's funny at all. I don't make fun of other people's beliefs, and I wouldn't like them making fun of mine, But as I said before, that would definitely be somebody I wouldn't mess with no more. That's somebody that you can't trust. Somebody belittling you and embarrassing you, you can't trust that person. That person is what I would call a frenemy. Okay. Now, Nira Nicole Soon gave us our first positive comment. Nira said, "Hi, I was born on February 12th, and I'm not manipulative and not a type of person who will play games with you. And also, I love being honest and straightforward without hurting someone's feelings." I like that. "And I'm emotional, but I always keep in check. Hee hee, love your videos." I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that 100%. That is the best way to live. Being honest, being straightforward. And I have not always lived this way. I used to live in another way that wasn't honest, that wasn't straightforward all the time. And this is the best way. It is. And also being in my feelings. I used to be so shut off from my feelings that I couldn't even identify what I was feeling. And now that I've done all this emotional intelligence and therapy and all these years and years and years of stuff, now I'm glad that I feel my emotions. It's not always easy. I'm going to tell you that. Honestly, as an Aquarius, it is not easy to deal with my own emotions or other people's sometimes. It's easier to deal with other people's than my own, oddly enough. But I'm glad. I'm really glad that I feel my feelings, I express my feelings, and I'm glad that I don't have all that bottled up hostility from all of the things that I wasn't addressing, So, yeah, you live in the right way. Keep living like that, and hopefully you'll live long and prosper, just like that. Now we have Ben Gay. Ben J. I was thinking of Ben Gay. Oh my God. Ben J. Ben J said, "Ooh, I used to plot like crazy when I was in grade school. It was me always finding ways to take people's iPods and Nintendo Ds, even phones, and no one ever had a clue it was me, or even small sadistic shit like putting gum in this girl's hair who used to try to bully me during pre-K naps." Now, of course, I don't co-sign capers and plotting. But when I was young, I did not know better, or I didn't behave better. I think I knew better, but just didn't do better. But I did. I was queen of plotting. Oh my God. I was queen of the caper, But you know what I noticed? I noticed that I was wasting my time. And I noticed this about a lot of stuff that I did when I was younger. A lot of stuff I did when somebody like harmed me or something like that. I wasted a lot of time. Because at the end of the day, what did these plots really get me? It might have got me some revenge on that person. I might have felt pretty good about it. Like she said, this was in grade school. So that's about right, I can see until you're about maybe 20, being in this energy in your 20s, I'm going to say. But around 30, I'm thinking it's time to grow up, So I was in this same vibration too. I was not the kind of person you wanted to cross. And you would not know it was me. I will do some shit to you and blame it on somebody else. Like she said that this person used to put gum in her hair. I would have put gum in her hair and blamed it on somebody else in the class who was bothering me. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And I definitely don't co-sign these things. But back then, I was just Mm. I was just an Aquarius who hadn't figured it out yet. So, yeah, all that plotting and scheming. You guys come back soon because I got a lot more stories and a lot more to say. See you later.